Hi, kids. Okay, today, instead of Indescribable, I am going to read a Papa Chuck. Yay! We haven't read these for a while. And I know you have heard all 12 stories, but just like my own kids, you all, my own 4 children that are grown now, you all love Papa Chuck just as much as they did. So I am so happy to share the one entitled Heaven Can't Wait, a story about life after death. And this one really touches my heart. This one makes me sad, but it makes me happy at the same time. And the reason I'm doing that today is because it is Holy Week and Good Friday is tomorrow. And the illustration that Papa Chuck gives is the story about Jesus dying on the cross. So I am going to read Heaven Can't Wait, and it is taken from verse John 11, 25 and 26. Jesus said, I'm the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will have life even if he dies, and he who lives and believes in me will never die. And that is the good news, boys and girls. So here we go. Let me show you the picture first. Usually I read it and then show you the picture. I'm going to show you the picture. Papa Chuck, Nana Cindy, and some grand cubs. Ding dong, ding dong. Papa Chuck rang the doorbell of Great Granny Bear's cottage while Nana Cindy, Ryan, and Chelsea stood next to him and waited. Suddenly, the front door swung open wide. Hello, Papa Chuck and Nana Cindy. Great Granny Bear's nurse, Bear Linda, spoke softly. Hello, Miss Bear Linda, said Papa Chuck and Nana Cindy. How is Great Granny Bear? Asked Papa Chuck. Not so good, Bear Linda explained. She ate only a small bowl of blueberries this morning. That's the first thing she's eaten in several days. May we see her now? Said Nana Cindy. You may indeed, said Bear Linda. Great Granny Bear is looking forward to your visit. She will be happy to see your grand cubs, too. Please follow me. Bear Linda led the family through the tiny house. As the bears followed Bear Linda through the Great Granny's kitchen, they remembered many happy times. It seems like just yesterday we were celebrating Great Granny Bear's 80th birthday, Papa Chuck said as he looked at the family pictures hanging on the wall. Great Granny Bear's bedroom was filled with letters, cards, plants, and photos from her great-grandcubs. Hello, loved ones, Great Granny Bear spoke. Hello, Granny. Papa Chuck took Great Granny Bear's paw and kissed her cheek. How are my cubs? Great Granny Bear asked. As she spoke, Granny's dentures made little clicking sounds. The cubs greeted Granny with smiles and kisses. We brought you something, Great Granny Bear, said Ryan. And we picked them ourselves, Chelsea added. Flowers! Great Granny Bear's face lit up for a brief moment. You know I love honeysuckle. Granny squinted her tired eyes as she looked at the bears around her bed. I'm so glad you came to visit today. I wanted to see you before I leave, Granny Bear said with a twinkle in her eye. Before you leave? Chelsea asked. Where are you going, Great Granny Bear? Asked Ryan. I am going to a place that I've dreamed of since I was a little cub, replied Great Granny Bear. Can we go with you? Asked Chelsea. In due times, cubs, Great Granny Bear nodded her head at the right time. And here's the pictures of them all coming to see her. See our fur's all white. They're remembering good times as they stand around her. They brought her flowers, and now she's saying at the right time, because they want to go with her. Okay, let's see what happens next. Is that a long time? Ryan questioned Granny. Not as long as it seemed when I was your age, my dear, Great Granny Bear chuckled. But you know, someday we could all be together again. Great Granny Bear is going to heaven to be with Jesus very soon, Papa Chuck explained. Does that mean you're not coming back? Said Chelsea. Well, I thought I was gone this morning, Great Granny Bear laughed, but when I finally do leave, I won't come back. Oh, Great Granny Bear, Nana Cindy said, you're such an inspiration. I'm going to miss you, said Chelsea with a tear in her eye. And I shall miss you, little one, said Great Granny Bear. I have something to give each of you. See that quilt? It was stitched by my mother with her bare paws. Great Granny Bear explained. I want you to have it, Chelsea. Thank you, Granny, cried Chelsea. It's beautiful. The tools in that box were your great-grandpa Bear's. He built this cottage with those tools, Ryan. I want you and Landon to share them, Great Granny Bear said. Thanks, Granny, Ryan said. I can't wait to show them to Landon. Cindy, you're such a wonderful blessing to this family, Granny said. Excuse me. I am so sorry. She sat up. Cindy, you're such a wonderful blessing to this family, Granny said, and she sat up very slowly. Her fur was completely silver. I want you to have my antique china. Oh, great Granny Bear, thank you for giving me such a special gift. I will treasure it always. Nana Cindy spoke softly. I will give it to my grandcubs someday. Let's look at the pictures. The quilt, the toolbox, the china. Giving special things to special people in her life. Chelsea said with amazement, Granny's china must be 100 years old. And then some, Great Granny Bear spoke up. I can barely remember a Christmas dinner without it. When I was a cub, I watched my grandmother paint the blueberries on each dish. Chuck, Great Granny Bear slowly held out her paw and continued to speak. Once I leave, I want you to have my Bible. It would be an honor, Great Granny Bear, Papa Chuck replied. But first, Great Granny Bear took a deep breath. I would like to tell you one of my favorite Bible stories. Please fetch my Bible from the nightstand, Granny instructed. The family gathered near the aging silver bear, and they listened closely as she read from the book of Matthew. On Sunday morning, 2 days after the death and burial of Jesus, some women went to his tomb. At dawn, there was a great earthquake. An angel of the Lord came down from heaven. The angel went to the tomb and rolled the stone away from the entrance. Then the angel sat on the stone. His clothes were as white as snow. He was shining brightly. The soldiers guarding the tomb were frightened. They shook with fear. They fell to the ground like dead men. The angel said to the women, Don't be afraid. I know that you're looking for Jesus, the one who was killed on the cross, but he is not there. He has risen from death, as he said he would. Go quickly, tell his followers, Jesus has risen from death. The women left the tomb. They ran to tell Jesus' followers what had happened. Suddenly, Jesus met them and said, Greetings. The women fell to their knees. They felt afraid and happy at the same time. Jesus said, Don't be afraid. Tell my followers they will see me again. After Jesus appeared to the women, he appeared to his followers many times. When Jesus' followers gathered together in Galilee, he told them, Go make followers of all the people in the world. Teach the people to obey my words, and you can be sure that I will be with you always. Later, Jesus led his followers to the Mount of Olives. He lifted up his hands and blessed them. Suddenly, he began to rise in the air, higher and higher. A cloud covered Jesus, and he went up to heaven. While Jesus' followers looked heavenwards, 2 angels appeared. The men said, Why do you stand looking up into the sky? You saw Jesus taken away from you into heaven. He will come back in the same way you saw him go. So he appeared to his followers after he rose from the dead on Easter Sunday. Several weeks later, Papa Chuck, Nana Cindy, and the cubs returned to Great Granny Bear's house. They were packing Granny's belongings in boxes since she had moved to her heavenly home. Papa Chuck found Great Granny Bear's Bible on her nightstand with a note. It said, Look, Cindy, Great Granny Bear left me a note. Well, what does it say? Asked Nana Cindy. Papa Chuck picked up the tattered old Bible and read the scribbling handwriting on a piece of paper. Remember to share these great stories from the Bible with everyone you meet. Love, Great Granny Bear. P.S. I can hardly wait to see you again. I love that story, kids. I hope you enjoyed hearing it again just as much as I did. Happy Easter. Jesus is alive. Bye-bye.